All right, quick little dateless philosophy. Just given I'm recording this in the middle of the time where I'm trying to keep the series figuring out what human is consistent, one video after another until I've got at least a solid thing worked out. Might be a mistake considering I've already made like 3 philosophies that aren't in the series, but I'm going to keep doing it, at least for now, at least until I get into some moderate conclusion state, and then I'll upload these on random occasions. I don't think it's super important when each one is uploaded. These are just little random concepts I've thought of. Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about the allure of solipsism. I don't know why I said it weird like that. For the allure, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that word, but anyways, it's solipsism is basically the belief that you are the only living, or at least the only existing, and sort of what I would define as a lack of self-awareness. Well, at least lack of intellectual self-awareness, if not conscious self-awareness, because one problem with solipsists, I'm assuming that's the plural. Anyways, the problem with solipsism is you can't really act upon it. So even sociopaths, people surrounded have to be at least can't really be true solipsists. It's like anarchy. You can't actually want anarchy. You just want something which is a lot more anarchical than it is currently. Because true anarchy would have effectively, well, not even effectively, it would have 100% equal individuals fighting in a situation in which none could win or lose, because as soon as one starts to win, even gain an advantage, it's no longer anarchy. It's the most utterly primitive form of government or governance, because then there is suddenly this person who has power over these other people. That's not anarchy anymore. Yeah. Whenever you hear people talking about the anarchists, they're not really talking about anarchists. They're talking about, anyways, it's the same with solipsism. You can't really be a total solipsist. At least you can't. At least if you are, you can't act on it. You have to have a practical philosophy of basically everybody else exists. Anyways, but I think solipsism is an unfortunate hole, a trap. It's something that people can fall into, and it's very important, especially if you're watching this and you're currently in the stage in which you're trapped into solipsism. Then it's important that you spend as much time as you can researching into things like Descartes. It has an S in it, I swear. French just doesn't translate to English that well. So, if you're in the state in which if you're in the point in which you are absorbed into solipsism, you cannot prove to yourself that other people exist. And I'm not talking about, and I'm not, like I brought up anarchists a second ago, I'm not talking about it in that sort of way. It's not like them, but it's an intellectual hole that I don't think people get into because they're in any way objectable. It's just the fact that they get into it merely by the fact that if you can, some people, when they consider these Descartesian ideas, just can't get past the whole "I think, therefore I am" thing. That's the problem with people cutting them off the second meditation. And even if you can't view what he says after the second meditation as anything other than false, in the very least, you should look into other ideals. And I think certainly things like pure rationalism isn't exactly the way to go on this. Look into Hume or something like that. Although Hume doesn't really tackle this as directly as Descartes does. at least as far as I can tell. Again, scholarism. I'm not a scholar. I'm a person with an interest. So for all I know, there's some scholar out there who's currently raging at their monitor, saying, "Oh no, Hume talked about this exactly." But anyways, look into other philosophers, especially philosophers around that time. Maybe I was gonna say Spinoza, but I'm almost certain that Spinoza didn't cover this. He was more about the practical side of things. More about it, anyways. So I wouldn't even waste your time with the Greeks. They don't really seem to care so much about existence, but more what you should do, just assuming you exist, or the Romans for that matter. It's hard to consider how to repel the allure of solipsism. But I think, short as this video will likely end up being, I think all I can say is, if you are in the stage in which you cannot prove to yourself anything but I am the only one who exists, it is absolutely vital, because you're not absolutely vital that you spend as much time as you can trying to find any evidence you can that this is not true. I think inevitably, at least the vast majority of people will find evidence of this kind, but I think that you can't really think philosophically, at least not effectively, while also being a solipsist. At least an intellectual solipsist. So I think it's a stage in which I think a lot of people end up getting into, myself included. But if you're in that stage, it is of the utmost importance that you get out of it. All right, enjoy the turkeys.